Hey everybody, welcome back to Green Spy Trades. In today's episode, I'm going to be trying to start a new segment which I like to do regularly called Capital Trades, where I look at the Capital Trades website and try to see what members of Congress have been trading lately. So let's take a look at the past week or two of congressional trades. We'll look at the charts of those stocks, do maybe a little bit of fundamental analysis, and we'll see what interesting finds that we come up with. So let's first take a look at these trades made by Republican Senator from Missouri, Jerry Moran. And these trades were made on July 29th, so that would have been the last Monday of July, and they were disclosed on this most recent Thursday, August 29th. And it looks like he's selling some Berkshire Hathaway. So let's take a look at the Berkshire A shares, which are trading at $715,000 per share. So he would have made that sale just before that big dip that we had at the beginning of August. But look at that. Berkshire shares have really rallied back along with the rest of the market, but they've actually broken out some since the market came back from that dip in early August. Now, in case you're watching this video sometime in the future and you don't remember, back at August 5th, we had a big correction in the market when the yen carry trade kind of blew up because of the Bank of Japan raising interest rates. It sparked a correction which caused the market to drop almost 10%, but we quickly recovered from that. And here now at the beginning of September, we're back at the highs, and we haven't broken out to new highs yet, but we are pretty close. By the way, Berkshire has a Class A shares, but they've also got cheaper Class B shares, and Class B shares will have splits every so often, the last one in 2010. And if you're just a regular investor and you're interested in having Berkshire Hathaway in your portfolio, the Class B shares are probably an easy way to include that at an affordable amount. Now, I don't find anything really alarming about this Berkshire Hathaway sale that this congressman made. Looks, he has also got rid of a little bit of Verizon, some U.S. Bank, Cigna. Oh, that's actually going back into 2023. So the most recent trade that he made was just divesting of some Berkshire Hathaway. Let's take a look at when he divested of Verizon back in December. Also Microsoft. So he divested a lot back then. So back then we were transitioning over to the new year. The market actually had a really good 2024. I think these particular trades that he made, I don't think they suggest any sort of insider information. To me, it just looks like possibly some type of portfolio rebalancing. Recall the amounts were actually very small, so I'm not really thinking too much into any of this. I think it'll be really interesting to see when it comes out what the Congress people were buying throughout the month of August, because we had that very big dip at the beginning of August and then the market rallied back. I want to see what stocks they were buying. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Max Miller, Republican, Ohio House Representative. AIX Ventures Fund. Okay, so this person bought $1,000 to $15,000 of a fund. Looks like this is something that he occasionally buys. Doesn't look very interesting. Okay, Myno Carbon Corp. This person's a Democrat, Sean Casten of Illinois. And this looks like it was a private company, just a small amount there. Well, actually, 15 to 50,000. Okay, so that's some of a sizable amount. And this is something that he's regularly been buying. This guy seems to be late on his filings. Myno Carbon, carbon removal services, large-scale carbon removal facilities to convert agricultural waste into electricity. Interesting. Former oil field engineers launch a climate startup that uses ancient carbon trapping technology. Okay. So it's kind of a startup company. Let's see when this article was written, in 2023. All right, so this guy's investing in a startup for biochar. Sounds very interesting. If this company ever goes public, which I don't think they are right now, it's a private company. So if this ever has an IPO, this might be an interesting investment. Something to keep in mind. If this guy's a Democrat, kind of makes sense. He probably believes in the whole climate change thing and renewable energy, so I guess this kind of makes sense. So I think this is an example of why I want to do this. It's because these senators, these people in Congress, they're very knowledgeable and they're very much tied into business. So whether you want to call it insider trading or not, I think a lot of them have good knowledge and could probably give you some interesting investment ideas for the future because they kind of see where things are going, where trends are headed, and you could kind of see some insights into that knowledge here in what they're buying and what they're selling. Next up, Michael Collins, a Republican from Georgia, and he bought Aerodome Finance. Let's take a look at his trades in that. So it's something that he started buying recently. Wow, that's interesting. He bought 8,000 and then he sold 8,000 and then he bought 33,000. So this guy is quite a trader here, buying and selling like crazy. What is going on here? Let's take a look at the chart for Aerodome Finance. Looks like this doesn't look right. Do they have the incorrect ticker symbol there on Capital Trades? Aerodome Finance. It's trading in liquidity marketplace. I haven't heard of this company before. But as you can see here, this ticker goes to something called AeroGrow International. Let's ask Perplexity. Okay, so they're a market maker company. Oh, in blockchain. Interesting. So it's crypto, it's market making, finance. So are they publicly traded? It's not publicly traded. Okay, so I think they have the wrong ticker symbol listed here on the website for Capital Trades. This seems to be a private market maker company in the crypto space. And that's something that you're going to find a lot when looking at the trades on this website, is that a lot of these Congress people, they don't just buy stock, but they make private equity investments as well. In fact, I would argue that the legislation that they're trying to push now that will effectively ban Congress people from trading stock, that actually it might put regular people like us at a disadvantage because we won't be able to participate in what they're actually probably going to be buying and selling, because if they can't trade stock, they're probably going to be trading more in private equity deals where regular people like us don't have access to that market, but we do have access to the stock market. And when they're trading stock, that's something that you could trade along with. So it actually just might make the rich richer when they pass that law to ban the trading of stocks. Okay, now let's take a look at Susan Delbean from Washington in the House. And this person is buying, looks like municipal bonds, school district bonds, Austin Independent School District of Philadelphia. So she's just buying public debt for government. Nothing too exciting there. And now we go to August 23rd, which was last week, well, the week before this previous week. Let's see what Richard Blumenthal is trading. 3D Offshore Fund LP. So this is a fund. He sold a sizable amount, $291,000 in this fund. Okay, so it's an investment fund. It's not easy to find out exactly what they have in their portfolio, but it's a hedge fund. He divested of that hedge fund. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, August 23rd disclosure. Okay, so she traded this on August 21st. That was a pretty fast filing. She bought Google, relatively small amounts, price of $167. Okay, so she bought a whole bunch of big tech, just general stocks here. She bought a little bit of Nvidia. She bought some Kinder Morgan. They're an oil, natural gas pipeline company. Marjorie Taylor Greene in the past has been somewhat critical of big tech companies like Amazon and Google when it comes to censorship of speech. But when I look at trades like this, it just seems like a diversified set of investments because these are good companies, these are good stocks. I don't think there's anything strange or unusual about this here. But when it comes to her stock trading performance, something to keep in mind is that Marjorie Taylor Greene sometimes doesn't make the most sure bets on stocks. For example, she bought a significant amount of money in DJT, which is Donald Trump's company that IPO'd a couple years ago. And let's see, she opened at around $118 a share. She put in somewhere between $15,000 and $50,000. That was a while ago. If we look at the performance of that investment, we'll bring up DJT stock here, and it is way down. So she was buying it at the very peak, and this stock is just going to be like another penny stock, or it's on its way to becoming something like that. And yeah, so I think she did that to support Donald Trump, but it doesn't seem to be. I don't think this says much about confidence in her stock trading abilities. So that's just something to keep in mind. And since we're doing that week, the week before, let's see what else we got here. Jared Moskowitz, and this is a late filing as well. Abbott Labs, Accenture. Let's see, this guy seemed to have done a lot of trades. Wow, he did quite a bit. So these were trades on various dates from 2023 to 2024. Lots of companies, they were all behind filings. I don't think this is information that's very relevant now when you look at how late these filings were made, but it's just a very diversified group of stocks, it looks like to me. Oh, look, one of the stocks that he sold was Walt Disney Company, and he did that back in July of 2023. Probably was a good decision. Yeah, July of 2023. Well, actually, he sold near the bottom of Disney. But Disney has been kind of a roller coaster here. They've got a lot of drama going on behind the scenes there. I don't blame him for getting out. And then this seems to be another diversified batch of buying and selling. Scott Franklin, Florida House member, on August 1st, sold some Google. That was right before the big market drop. He's buying Amgen, selling Apple, so he's selling some big tech. He made a huge purchase of Amgen at 313 on August 7th. Like I said, I was interested in what these congressmen are buying through the month of August. So this guy is one who bought the dip, but at the same time, he was selling other big tech companies like Apple and Google. So like, let's look at Apple's chart. It seems to me like he's just doing a rotation. He used this carry trade blow up, this correction in the market to do a rotation out of some stocks when it started to recover, but he bought some other more industrial and biotech names. So it seems like this guy, like a lot of investors and like what a lot of people are doing right now, is that they're kind of going to cash. So this guy seems, based on this trading, seems to be a little bit worried about an economic downturn, getting a little bit more defensive in his positions. So like here, he bought the total bond fund. And let's see, what's this? Government, mortgages, treasuries. That seems to be what's in this Fidelity bond fund. So Scott Franklin seems to be taking more of a defensive posturing for his portfolio. And here we go, Jared Moskowitz, August 20th, which was the previous Tuesday. So let's see, today is Saturday, August 31st. So we're looking at the week before. And that's when these were disclosed, but these were early July trades. And it looks like, okay, so he's selling a bunch of stuff. Interesting. He bought Oracle, but he was selling Northrop Grumman, MasterCard, he's buying banks. Okay. Sherwin-Williams, he bought that. This seems to be like some type of portfolio rebalancing. It's very interesting. He sold Snap-on. He bought Southern Company, utility company. So he's switching utilities. And then utilities have actually been doing really good. So he bought sometime around here. Actually, I was selling. Wow, Southern Company really ramped up here. And utilities have been doing really well. I was actually kind of surprised about this breakout in Southern Company, because utility companies usually don't make moves that big. And let's see, he sold MasterCard on July 5th. Yeah, so I don't know. This doesn't seem to have any sense that I could make of it. So when you're looking at somebody else's investments, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what they're thinking and what their situation is. So he traded a volume of $184,000, and it looks like just a realignment of his portfolio. All right, so that's about as far back as I want to go for today. Leave me some comments if you like me doing this, and I'll try to make this a regular segment on my show here, Green Spot Trades. So with that, see you in the next video.